EpicDharma presents.
Arjuna, where does this weakness come from at such a critical moment? This despair is shameful, unworthy of a noble warrior, and it blocks the path to heaven. Do not yield to this feebleness. It does not befit you. Shake off this petty weakness of heart and arise, O chastiser of enemies. Krishna, how can I fight against Bhishma and Drona with arrows in battle? They are worthy of my worship. It would be better to live as a beggar in this world than to kill these noble elders. Even if they are driven by greed, they are still my teachers. If I kill them, everything I enjoy will be stained with their blood. I don't know which is worse, to conquer them or to be conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra who stand before us, we won't even wish to live. My heart is overcome by pity and weakness, and my mind is confused about my duty. I ask you, tell me for certain what is best for me. I am your disciple, and I have surrendered to you. Please teach me. I can find nothing that will drive away this grief that is drying up my senses. Even if I were to win a prosperous, unrivaled kingdom on earth, or sovereignty over the gods, I would not find peace.
You are grieving for those who should not be grieved for, yet you speak words of wisdom. The wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead. There was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Just as the embodied soul passes through childhood, youth, and old age in this body, so too does it pass into another body at death. The wise are not deluded by this change.
O son of Kunti, the contact of the senses with their objects gives rise to cold and heat, pleasure and pain. They come and go and are impermanent. Endure them patiently, O Bharata. The person who is not disturbed by these, who remains calm in both pain and pleasure, and is wise, is fit for immortality. The unreal has no existence, and the real never ceases to be. The truth about both has been perceived by the seers of truth. Know that which pervades all this is indestructible. No one can destroy that imperishable soul. Only the material bodies of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity are subject to destruction. Therefore, fight, O descendant of Bharata. He who thinks the soul kills, and he who thinks it is killed, are both ignorant. The soul neither kills nor is killed. For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does it ever cease to be. It is unborn, eternal, ever-existing, and primeval. It is not slain when the body is slain. O Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? Just as a person casts off worn-out garments and puts on new ones, so the embodied soul casts off worn-out bodies and enters others that are new. Weapons cannot cut the soul, fire cannot burn it, water cannot wet it, and wind cannot dry it. The soul is unbreakable and insoluble, and can be neither burned nor dried. It is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. The soul is said to be invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. Even if you think the soul is constantly born and constantly dies, you still have no reason to grieve, O mighty armed one. For one who is born, death is certain, and for one who dies, birth is certain. Therefore you should not lament over the inevitable. All beings are unmanifest before birth, manifest in the middle, and unmanifest again after death. What is there to grieve about? Some look upon the soul as amazing, some describe it as amazing, and some hear of it as amazing, while others, even after hearing about it, cannot understand it at all. O descendant of Bharata, the dweller in the body is eternal and can never be slain. Therefore, you need not grieve for any living being. Considering your specific duty as a warrior, you should not waver. There is no better engagement for a warrior than fighting for religious principles. Happy are the warriors to whom such opportunities to defend righteousness come unsought, opening for them the gateway to heaven. But if you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will lose your reputation and fame, and you will incur sin. People will speak of your infamy forever, and for a respectable person, infamy is worse than death. The great generals who have highly estimated your name and fame will think that you have left the battlefield out of fear, and thus they will consider you insignificant. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? If you are killed on the battlefield, you will attain heaven. If you conquer, you will enjoy the earth. Therefore, arise and fight with determination. Fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat. And by so doing, you shall never incur sin. Thus far, I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Pritha, when you act with such intelligence, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. But the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, resultant good birth, power, and so forth. Being desirous of sense gratification and opulent life, they say that there is nothing more than this. In the minds of those who are too attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence, and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service does not take place. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of the three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. All the purposes served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all the purposes of the Vedas can be served to one who knows the purpose behind them. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Action motivated by desire is far inferior to that performed in equanimity of mind. Therefore, seek refuge in this wisdom. Those who are motivated by the fruits of their work are miserable. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad reactions, even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries. When your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak, and what is his language? How does he sit, and how does he walk? When a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. One who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. In the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. One who is able to withdraw his senses from their objects, just as a tortoise withdraws its limbs within the shell, is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. The embodied soul may be restricted from sense enjoyment, though the taste for sense objects remains. But ceasing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness. The senses are so strong and impetuous, O Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind even of a man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them. One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon me, is known as a man of steady intelligence. While contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises. From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. But a person who is free from all attachment and aversion and is able to control his senses through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. For one thus satisfied, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. One who is not connected with the Supreme can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be any happiness without peace? As a strong wind sweeps away a boat on the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away a man's intelligence. Therefore, O mighty armed, one whose senses are restrained from their objects is certainly of steady intelligence. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-controlled, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desires. A person who has given up all desires for sense gratification, who lives free from desires, who has given up all sense of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain real peace. That is the way of the spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God.
More epics at EpicDharma.com.